Hey everyone, Medhitter here, and welcome to my Guardian Tales Endgame guide. Now, this will be relatively short, as the endgame is really easy to understand, right? Because you don't have a whole load of choices. Now, your first choice is going to be to just stop playing the game, which sounds odd, but let me explain. Quite a lot of players actually just play the game up until the latest story chapters and then just log in every now and then, claim some rewards, do some sweeps, but they don't actually care about progressing deep into endgame contents because, well, it's just not for everyone. Some things take too much investment, some things take too much time. So let's begin with the most common option, and that's actually Raid, right? Raid is endgame content that's pretty much just DPS Simulator 101, right? If you want to do Raid, I recommend just looking up a bunch of raid guides. Look at what characters you need for raid. A lot of raid characters are actually just great in other content, like Kama-El, Yunha, Claude, First Corps Commander, Agma, etc. They're just great everywhere else. Mariel, right? They're good characters that are good for everything. So a lot of people can comfortably, choose to go into raids, but they're gonna lack a lot of the stats needed from collection bonus, a lot of account depth that's needed. You're gonna need an extremely well built roster for multiple mono teams. You're gonna need gears for all the mono teams. It's a lot of investment, but it's a really common end game path that people go towards. And here I'm just gonna show you. I don't care for raid. This is just a random guild that I'm in here. So I'm just going to show you how it looks. You literally just go against a boss and just DPS them. This is a really low level boss, as I believe this raid rotation pretty much just started. And yeah, this is not what your typical raid experience is going to be. You're not always going to kill the boss. There's, proper raid guides. This is not done properly here because I'm using a tank and a bunch of all of the stuff. But don't do as is done here, but do it as other guides will say. This is just to tell you what endgame options are, right? There's carryover, there's a whole bunch of additional complicated stuff, but if you want to eventually do raids, endgame, you're gonna have to start preparing it for it in the mid game, because you're gonna have to summon for a lot of raid specific heroes. However, you'll get quite a few of them just by playing and summoning for generally good heroes. Now, that's your first option, right? Your second option is PvP, and this can be Colosseum or Arena, but it's mainly going to be Arena and Master Arena, right? It's where you're going to need an extremely diverse roster of pure PvP characters that are popular in it, like Arena and stuff like that. If you're not sure what characters are actually good in stuff like Colo, just hit the ranking option here, right, under rewards. Tap it and you'll see, what teams are commonly used. And you'll see a trend on a lot of them. For example, AA72, Arena, Kai, right? You'll see the trend and you can generally just build towards and follow these trends, as they'll mostly be just solid, good teams. If you're not sure on what to use, it's not too difficult in that regard to get into it, like understanding wise, but it is really difficult to get into it having the stats and the characters, because even if you have the characters, you're not going to have the characters built, and you're absolutely going to need the stat bonuses from collection, which will take you at least half a year to properly get. And yeah, that's it. Even for Coliseum, you can just check the teams here and see what teams are meta and are being used commonly. But yeah, that's it. I mean, you're going to want to at least do PvP for the bare minimum gem rewards and raid. Join a decent, guild for the raid gem rewards and stuff. But yeah, that's literally the Guardian Tales endgame. It's not too difficult to understand what the contents are, but it's really difficult to get into, as it's months and months and months of investment and grinding multiple characters, grinding for tons of resources, building so much gear, and it's a really investment heavy and time heavy dedication that, if you're not up for it, don't force yourself. Just play the game, enjoy it, play it casually. It's a great game, whether you play it hardcore or as a casual. Just have fun. That's the most important thing. And anyway, that's it. This was Matt Hatter, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, like, leave a comment, join my community Discord, and I'll see you